Boko Haram hits Borno IDPs again, set many houses ablaze. Commuters plying Bauchi-Gombe Highway expressed concern over deplorable condition of road ahead of rainy season. On the foreign scene, Haiti gang leader threatens civil war if Prime Minister does not resign. Hello and welcome to the Trust TV News Update. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you for joining us, and we'll begin with the security update, where suspected Boko Haram insurgents have razed down at least 25 newly constructed buildings meant for returnees in Dikwa local government area of Borno State. At the heat of the insurgency that ravaged parts of Borno State, Dikwa residents fled their homes and took cover as internally displaced persons. However, days after abducting IDPs who went into the forest to fetch firewood, insurgents stormed a remote village in Gajibo, shooting sporadically and burning more than 25 newly built houses. According to an eyewitness who was on his way to Maiduguri from Gomboru, they were asked by the troops to wait for about 3 hours at Logomani village. A resident of Dikwa town, Sharif Lawan, confirmed the development to our correspondent via telephone. He added that they equally planted several improvised explosive devices in the ongoing construction site to truncate the rebuilding and resettlement process of the state government. Joining us via phone now is Media Trust Regional Editor Hamisu Matazu. Thank you so much for joining us on the news update, Hamisu.
Thank you, Aisha.
Now, kindly give us an understanding of the scale of the recent attack. I mean, what more details can you give us?
Actually, the attack happened the day before yesterday. And about 25 houses were razed down by the insurgents. And as it is now, I learned that the Executive Secretary of SEMA, that is the State Emergency Management Agency, has organized his team, and they moved to the area for on-the-spot assessment. The area is there is no service. Maybe to reach him, I had wanted to get an update about what they saw and the quantum of damage, but he is yet to come back. Meanwhile, it is a known fact that the state is at the stage of recovery stage. So they have been building houses all across the state, preparing to return the IDPs back to their ancestral homes. Because recently the governor made a pronouncement that what they have been spending on the IDPs, it cannot be longer sustainable. As such, he tried to build more houses and open up farmlands to ensure that the IDPs return to their ancestral home, and they have maybe occupation doing there, which predominantly are farmers, and they are opening up farmlands to ensure that they return home. So based on what we are getting from people, they were saying that the insurgents were not too comfortable with the arrangement, and that's why they are making such pocket of attacks recently.
Okay.
So we are on the situation to see maybe how things will unfold in the and report accordingly.
Okay, thank you so much, Hamisu. I understand you're saying that SEMA in the state is already organizing for assessment of the situation, and also the state government prior to this particular attack is rebuilding houses for the internally displaced persons to return to their ancestral homes. But then I'd like to know, is this a one-off attack, or is there a sense that this is a recurring issue?
Well, attack in Borno State has been happening, though it has subsided, but of recent we can see the resurgence of some attacks in some places. Notwithstanding, most of the attacks happening now are landmines attacks, which the insurgents usually planted bombs, EIDs, in some places where, especially on the roads, that is the interstate, the interlocal government roads, where there is traffic, and usually the cars usually got on the bombs, and it went off with them. And we have seen so many such attacks recently. But notwithstanding, I believe the insurgents are not doing as much, because if you look at the way some of the local governments, before even this Gajibo, where the attack happened, people cannot dare go there. But the government was able to go there and build the houses, and now trying to relocate the people. But these things are happening, which I feel maybe it will be unsafe for the people to return for now. But it depends on the assessment of the government and the assessment of the SEMA that went. So that's why we want them to come back, so that we can engage them to know how the preparation will go on. Are they going to return them soon, or maybe what they will do on the issue?
Quite a sad one there, that we have landmine attacks and also IED explosives being planted by these insurgents. Now, you did talk about the state government's plan on working on relocating IDPs back to their communities, but I'd like to know, just very briefly and lastly, what kind of impact would this development now have on relocation plans?
Obviously, it has affected the plan, because the government had wanted, and the governor has been announcing. He announced that in different events that soon he will relocate the people there. And I think that has sent a lot of fear into the mind of the people that will be relocated there, I believe. And I don't know, maybe the security are in the best side to talk about the security, whether it is safe.
Okay.
It is still safe for the people to return.
Okay.
So maybe in our next this thing, we will reach out to the security to know their take on the issue.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Hamisu Matazo, Media Trust Regional Editor, on your inputs on the news update. We do hope to pick up this conversation with you as soon as there's more developments on the matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, more on security matters. The Katsina State Police Command on Tuesday foiled a kidnapping attempt, rescued victims, and recovered one operational motorcycle from suspected bandits in the state. In a statement on Wednesday, the spokesman of the State Police Command, ASP Abubakar Sadiq, said the incident occurred at about 6:30 p.m. after a report was received at the Kankara Police Divisional Headquarters that some suspected armed bandits attacked motorists along Bore Village Road in Kankara local government area. He said upon receipt of the report, a team of operatives stormed the scene, engaged the suspected bandits in a fierce gun duel, and forced them to flee. Sadiq quoted the State Commissioner of Police, CSP Aliyu Abubakar Musa, as commending the officers' outstanding displays of bravery, dedication, and professionalism. Musa said efforts are on top gear to arrest fleeing suspects, advising members of the public to promptly report anybody seen with a bullet wound, and some of the suspects escaped the scene with gunshot injuries. Suspected herdsmen on Tuesday afternoon killed no fewer than 10 persons in a Zande community in Ukum local government area of Benue North Senatorial Zone, but residents of the area put the figures at 30 or more. Among those killed was a family of 7. Residents identified them as Michael Azande, Uyofa Azande, Akirga Azande, Tuase Azande, Tessie Azande, Turnga Azande, and Turka Azande. The caretaker chairman of Ukum local government area, Victor Yelza, who confirmed the incident, said he has directed the divisional police officer of Ukum to deploy more men to the troubled area to prevent further killings. Ukum local government area, which shares boundary with Wukari local government area in Taraba State, has been under attacks from suspected herdsmen. The Benue Police Command said it was yet to be briefed on the attack. And now, away from security matters, with rainy season just around the corner, commuters plying the Bauchi-Gombe highway have expressed concern over the deplorable condition of the road and urged the federal government to arrest the situation before it gets out of hand. Some of the commuters who spoke to Trust TV while on transit said they don't find it easy every time they ply the road. Adamu Imam completes the report.
Drivers who usually ply the Bauchi to Gombe highway lamented what they described as a not too encouraging level of commitment by government on the need to repair dilapidated portions of the road, as commuters still struggle to ply the road, especially around the Kalajanga community area.
Kalajanga culvert that was washed away every year, every rainy season. This portion must be washed away by flood, and nothing has been done. It's a federal road, it's a highway that links all the states in the northeast. From here, you go to Bauchi. From Bauchi, you go to Gombe, you go to Adamawa, you go to Taraba, you go to Borno, and you go to Yobe. But this is the condition of the road. It's a dead trap. Last year, it was more devastating last year. The two governors, Bauchi and Gombe, came here and they promised they were going to talk to the federal government. Though we heard that the contract has been awarded, but nothing has been done. This is March.
Adeyemi added that members of the National Assembly from the zone also need to draw the attention of relevant agencies of government to the lingering issues of roads in northern part of the country, particularly the northeastern roads. They are facing a lot of difficulties plying this road. Car breakdowns can cause one to spend several hours. So we are appealing to the government to do the needful by fixing this road to help ameliorate our plight as drivers. On behalf of Drivers Union from Alkaleri to Gombe, we are appealing to the authorities to address the deplorable conditions of the road. I usually go to where there are potholes and use sand to fill them up to ease the stress on drivers. From there, I get some cash to keep body and soul together. But that notwithstanding, we are begging for government's intervention on this road. They also argue that addressing road problems in those axes will reduce delays for passengers and encourage transporting of farm produce, as well as growth and development of the zone as a whole. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And now to health matters. The Kano State Ministry of Health has denied the outbreak of measles in Kano Municipal Local Government area. In a statement issued by the Public Relations Unit of the Ministry, the Director of Public Health and Disease Control, Imam Wada Bello, was quoted to have debunked the story. Authorities at the Kano Municipal Local Government Council of Kano State had confirmed an outbreak of measles in some parts of the local government area. The primary healthcare coordinator of the area, Aliyu Jinjiri Kiru, disclosed this during a meeting of the Emergency Preparedness Response Committee at the local government secretariat. But denying the report on Wednesday, Imam pointed out that before a disease could be declared an outbreak, there were certain procedures and indexes to be considered, including laboratory investigations and examinations, as well as assessing its gravity and number of people affected. The director said that the ministry was vigilant on all public diseases by taking all necessary measures to contain the effect of such diseases. He further assured that the ministry and its 44 local government areas emergency preparedness response were on the alert to timely respond to outbreaks in collaboration with the relevant stakeholders. The Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service says it is gearing up to overhaul revenue collection and management to align the process with 21st century technological standards. The service made this known at the launch of an e-portal for seamless service delivery. Habibat Ajayi has details of the story.
The e-portal is, among other things, enhance taxpayer satisfaction and facilitate easier tax remittance for FCT residents. By embracing advanced technology and implementing user-friendly platforms like the e-portal, the Commission aims to streamline services and enhance overall efficiency, benefiting both taxpayers and the administration alike.
I am glad to submit that the e-portal exemplifies innovation at its zenith. This platform will help us bridge the gap between tradition and modernity, propelling tax management further into the digital age. Gone are the days of cumbersome paperwork and long waiting times. Instead, we are welcoming a new era where taxpayers can navigate their obligations with ease and efficiency, all at the click of a button from the comfort of their homes or offices.
It enables the administrators, the management, to be able to take informed decisions as the system is equipped with analytical tools. And we hope in the nearest future that the AI tools on the system will be activated. And the second variant is what we call the self-service platform. And this enables taxpayers who want to perform their tax obligation at the comfort of their offices or home, not having to come to our offices, but they can perform their tax operations or obligations at the comfort of their homes with a click of button. You can request, if you don't have tax clearance number, you can request, and then if all the information provided are adequate, within the next 24 hours, it will be approved. On that platform, taxpayers also have the right or the option of filing their returns without necessarily having to come to any of our offices. And when I say filing of return, both individual and corporate can file their return on the self-service.
The initiative, according to the Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service, marks a significant step towards modernizing tax collection processes and revolutionizing revenue management. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. We'll go on a quick break now. The news returns shortly.
In a world where progress is driven by dedication and inclusivity, Media Trust Group stands firm in acknowledging the vital role women play in shaping a brighter and more secure future for all. As the International Women's Day approaches, Trust TV invites you to join us in honoring the remarkable accomplishments of Nigerian women spanning various fields and industries. For those seeking special appearances or advertising opportunities within this special program, please reach out to Aisha on 080-3646-3018 for additional details and inquiries. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. But if you're just joining us, this is the Trust TV News Update. Now let's take a look at a recap of some of our top stories. Boko Haram hits IDP camps again, set many houses ablaze. Commuters plying Bauchi-Gombe Highway expressed concern over the deplorable condition of road ahead of rainy season. And now moving on to more stories. The International Monetary Fund has said addressing food insecurity should be the immediate priority for the Nigerian government. The IMF also said the decision by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria to further tighten monetary policy will help contain inflation and pressures on the naira. The IMF stated this in a report after its team, led by Axel Shimelpenin, IMF Mission Chief for Nigeria, visited Lagos and Abuja from February 12 to 23, 2024 to hold discussions for the 2024 Article 4 consultations with Nigeria. Nigeria is battling rising inflation, food inflation, forex crisis, economic hardship, and high cost of living occasioned by the removal of petrol subsidy, attracting protests in parts of the country. The Nigerian naira has seen a dip in the last 9 months since the President Bola Tinubu administration collapsed the foreign exchange window. The naira experienced an all-time low, falling from about 700 naira per dollar last May to over 1,500 naira per dollar at the moment. The House of Representatives has summoned the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, and Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority to appear before it over controversies trailing the concession of Apapa Terminal, Warri Port Terminal, and Tinkan Island Port Terminal. Chairman House Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, Ibrahim Chidari, gave the directive during the investigative hearing into the expired concession agreements signed with 6 unlicensed terminal operators. Let's take a look at the report.
Also directed to appear before the committee are the Director General, Bureau of Public Enterprises, and Director General, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission.
Some port terminals, seaport terminals, were given out on concession, viably, but some of them are from Lagos and some of them are from Port Harcourt. So they were trying to see that their approval were renewed since 2021. So we don't know, somehow this renewal were not granted to them, but they have been operating since then. So we fit it deemed to cross-check and see what is the problem.
The committee also queried the terminal operators on whether the fees paid were paid into the appropriate government's account or not. A representative of Browell Oil Service Limited, Ochia Patrick, accused Intel of illegal imposition of shifting fees, which led to the loss of multi-million naira businesses from international shipping agencies.
They call it shifting charge for that vessel that is already in Intel. Look at the boundary between Intel and Browell. Just to shift from there to come to Browell to drop Browell cargoes that are meant for Browell, they will say they should pay shifting charge, and they will build in that charges to the consignees, that is the owners of the cargo, and that is discouraging them. So they say, instead of going to Browell, let us just drop it off at Intel, because that to them is additional cost.
The terminal operator representative, while expressing grave concern over the high cost of diesel to power generators daily, solicited for the intervention of the House on regular supply of gas to the terminal.
Away from Nigeria and now to matters emanating from the international scene. The gang leader behind the violence blighting the Haitian capital has warned that there will be a civil war if Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry does not step down. Jimmy Barbecue Charizia made the threat as members of his gang tried to seize the capital's airport to stop Henry from returning from abroad. Unrest has spread to other cities, with a prison riot reported in Jos Mill. Thousands has been displaced by the violence. Barbecue, who leads the powerful G9 gang alliance, said on Tuesday that if Ariel Henry does not resign, they will be heading straight for a civil war that will lead to a genocide. The G9 alliance has unleashed a wave of violence, including attacks on police stations and the storming of the country's 2 main prisons. Thousands of inmates escaped in a mass jailbreak on Saturday. And in sports, Real Madrid midfielder Jude Bellingham has been banned for 2 La Liga games for his red card after the 2-2 draw at Valencia. Bellingham, 20, thought he had scored the winner 6 minutes into stoppage time at the Mestalla on Saturday. But referee Gil Manzano had blown the full-time whistle as the cross was delivered. England's Bellingham will be able to play in Real's Champions League last 16 against RB Leipzig on Wednesday. The Spanish Football Federation said Bellingham showed contempt or disregard towards Manzano when Real players and staff surrounded him. Bellingham, who was making his return after 3 weeks out with an ankle injury, was fined $600. Real appealed against Bellingham's red card, but the RFEF disciplinary committee dismissed their argument that the referee had made an error. And that concludes the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Aisha Saliu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.